Hello and welcome to this vlog with me, Xenovids. Today I'm just going to talk and probably ramble a little bit whilst I'm doing my new model. So I've got the Horospex / Exocrine model. I've put up an unboxing video of this already. And what do I think about this model? If I'm totally honest, looks wise, it's not my kind of thing. The Horospex, which I'll show again. This is the Horospex model. It your standard skulking monstrous creature, but with a giant maw and a giant tongue thing. Similar to how a snake would open up its mouth and make it bigger, but also with the kind of alien-esque I'm gonna get you from the inside as well, which looks kind of like that bit there and above. And then if we look at the on the reverse side, the Exocrine model, it's a cross between a Biovore and a Pyrovore on steroids. Not sure what I really think of this. It's a 1-to-1 scale, this. What I really think of this model, it's just a Tyranid with a giant shaft coming out of its back. I love the weapon. The weapon's great, but I don't really like them how the way they look. That said, I do need some shooting, really. So I think what I'm going to do is make an Exocrine. In my unboxing video I said I might make Horospex, and someone pointed out that the Horospex isn't as good, and they've used the Horospex. Footslogging it across the board isn't good enough. It only has a 12-inch range shooting attack, one shot. It's just not good enough. With 5 wounds, toughness 6, it's not good enough. This can walk along the field like my Tyranids used to do. Walk up, shoot, walk up, shoot, which is cool. Would draw a lot of fire away from other units like my Winged-Type Tyrants. So with this in mind, I've also written another list. Let me just get it. Got it. So again, talking about Tyranids, they came out a week ago or 2 weeks ago now, and there was a lot of negative things about them, a lot of negativity, and what I think is becoming more and more apparent when you read this codex, you're understanding Games Workshop a bit more. Games Workshop wants to sell models. Now, if they sold loads of Tervigons in 5th edition, which they did because everyone took Tervigons, they're going to change it so you buy something else. Now, the more and more I read about Gene Stealers, the more and more I like them. If you can outflank them and then pin a crucial shooting unit that your opponent has, that's great. This codex is all about synergy and combos. You've got so many different things that can work together. On their own, not as great, but together they kind of make it interesting. And the more and more battle reports I see on the internet, where people are still trying to use the old style of playing to using different units, it's very, very interesting. In the link below, the description below, I'm going to put a link to Miniwargaming's Matt. If you don't know about Miniwargaming, they're a Canadian company that have a website just for tabletop gaming. They do battle reports, painting tips, and they allow you to put your content on there as well. It's brilliant. And Matt used Tyranids against Necrons. Not to give too many spoilers away, it was a very interesting game. It was very tense, and it looked like a great game to play. Either way, if they won or not. But neither army got slaughtered, and it was very, very close. So, watching his battle report and looking at the codex more, I've written a 2,000 point list. Now, you have to think about your local meta. You can't just look at a codex and go, oh, this has a point reduction, it is good. Or, this has had a point increase, it is bad. If you play tournament scenes, you're going to be going against Tau, Eldar, maybe Space Marines, and a lot of strong lists in that sense. If you're playing against your friends and they play like Orcs or Sisters of Battle, you're going to be playing completely differently. You've got to think about your local meta. I don't do tournaments. My friends don't do tournaments. We create our own tournament and leagues. Every Christmas we go to Warhammer World in Nottingham and we stay over a hotel and spend a whole weekend doing a massive tournament. And we get a lot of trophy, and it's something to do at the end of the year. It's brilliant. It's called our Christmas Cup. And at the moment you take one army of 2,000 points. You can do dual force, but no allies. You can use Forge World models, because you're allowed to do that in Games Workshop now. But we don't really agree with escalation. So Titans is a bit iffy, but like little like Barracudas from Tau or smaller things is kind of allowed. We have to discuss that before we go. Because if someone brought an Eldar Revenant Titan, then there's no point turning up, because with their D weapons they destroy everything. This year we're going to do something a little different, I think. I think we're going to be taking 2 armies each and have it over the weekend, so it's a knockout stage, and then we have the grand final on the Sunday. Because before we just had a massive battle on the Sunday of like 10,000 points, let's just go crazy. But we ran out of time. In our league, we have 6 armies at the moment. Of Tau, Space Marine, Grey Knights, Tyranids, Eldar, what's the other one? And Chaos Space Marines. They're who I play against, and I play as. So I've got to think about what I'm going to do. What's going to happen in the next league? There's going to be Necrons as well. I've got to start thinking, how am I going to play? Because playing against Tau is very different to playing against a Nurgle Chaos Space Marine army. In the Nurgle Chaos Space Marine army, he has Land Raiders, a Defiler, and a lot of Plague Marines. Against Tau, he's got long range shooting and Riptides, and weak infantry models. So I just have to think, against the Tau with a lot of infantry, and the way he plays it, I need big blasts or Morlocks. Against vehicle stuff, I need Carnifexes. So I've tweaked my list. It's a dual force, and I'll tell you why after I've read it out. So I've got 2 Winged Hive Tyrants, and they've both got 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers at 230 points each. Now that is 2, same as how I did it last time in the 5th edition. So you've got your Twin Linked, Strength 6 shots. Great against flyers, great against infantry, and light vehicles like rhinos. Winged Hive Tyrants just got better, but they are susceptible to being shot down. So I've got in my troop section 3 warriors. That's just going to be there to support the horde that's going to be coming up behind the Hive Tyrants. I'm going to have a 30-man squad of Termagants, so that I can have a Tervagon. Now most games in 40k involves objectives. So that Tervagon, all he does is going to spawn some Gaunts, they're going to run up with the rest of the thing, or spawn some Gaunts and go away from him, so that I can have the Tervagon taking an objective. And hopefully on the psychic powers I'll roll the psychic power, which will make them better. There are a few good psychic powers in here. They're not game breaking or game changing, but they are quite good again with combos. I mean, Dominion adds an extra 6 inches to your synapse. Whatever happens, my Termagant can have that. It's the Primaris. So yes, if a Termagant dies, Termagants within 12 inches now explode. Give him Dominion though, as a supported unit at the back. Looks great. Roll, boom. Dominion's gone off. Now you're 18 inches away. Even if the Termagant explodes, they don't explode. 30-man unit of Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts, still great. I'm not going to give them upgrades. It's a bit expensive to do that, but they're going to be there to draw fire and take down any infantry. I've then got one Venom Throat at 45 points. The Venom Throat is brilliant. Gives Shrouded to anything within 6 inches. Only got better. Then, heavy support. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Dual Force. It's allowed. The best section in this book is heavy support. So, 2 Morlocks. 140 points each. Morlocks are great. That's going to be giving me... They're going to come up. Deep Strike. Strength 6, AP2 Blast. Boom. Doesn't kill all the people. Do it again. Then it mishaps. There's a 1 in 6 chance that it's going to die. Even if I get the one where my opponent redeploys him, on my next turn he can reburrow. Turn after that, come up again. It's distraction, combo, layers. Your opponent's going to think, ah, 2 Morlocks are going to come up. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? He's going to make mistakes. Because I'm also going to have 3 Carnifexes coming up with 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers with Brain Leech Worms again. Similar to the Hive Tyrants. That's going to be 36 shots, strength 6, re-roll. Think about it. 36 shots. 18-inch range. Strength 6. That's crazy. Since Scything Talons, they're not amazingly worth it this edition, I've given them 2 sets of the Shooties. They've got a strength 9 in close combat. An additional attack isn't necessarily needed. And what I mean by that is Scything Talons now, if you have a set of Scything Talons, you get an additional attack. Instead of rerolling ones. So, in this edition, that's not so bad, because Carnifexes get D3 Hammer of Wrath, they get +1 anyway to their charge, they're great against vehicles because they're strength 9, so shoot as you go up the field at infantry units just to be annoying. Next to a Venom Throat, they're going to have Feel No Shrouded, so it's only good things about the Carnifexes. And then I've also got an Exocrine, which I'm currently making at the moment, and that's just going to rain down plasma shots essentially as I go up. And then I have 40 points spare to make it 2,000 points, so dual force is 2,000 points. 40 points, viable. Raining 48-inch, strength 4, AP4 barrage. It's great against any infantry troop. It's great. I was toying with taking Swarmlord, but I think the 2 Winged Hive Tyrants beat him in that respect. Completely. What do you think? What do you think is great in the Codex? I think there's a lot of good things in there and a lot of potential, really. They're quite good. I don't see them being that bad. And I mean, I was reading through some of the biomorphs. Where is it? On page 67. Adrenal glands. A model with adrenal glands has Fleet and Furious Charge special rule. Think about it. Monstrous creatures with Fleet and Furious Charge. Sounds pretty good. So, coupled with Onslaught, Psychic Power. Onslaught is a blessing that targets a single friendly unit within 24 inches. Whilst this power is in effect, the target unit can both run and then shoot. Okay, so I think flying monstrous creatures could run 2d6. Because flying monstrous creatures can do jump or do their flying. If you keep them as jump, they move 12 inches. 2d6s. Reroll. And say you're lucky, you get another 12 inches. Then you can shoot, like the Eldar do. Or a Carnifex, 6 inches. Oh, I'm going to run. Because and then I've got Fleet, so I can re-roll that. I'm a little bit close to you, and now I can shoot you as well. DAC effects are worth it. The more I think about it, the more I like this list. And when I get the models, I'm going to be doing a battle report straight away. I'm going to tell my opponent, just take a 2,000 point army. Like you would against my Tyranids, my 5th edition Tyranids, and see how you do. Because that's what I'm going to do. Okay, next, whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to get some news and stuff up, and we can talk about the rumours that have been happening this week. News and rumours. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is the Dark Vengeance models. Dark Vengeance came out a year or so ago, brought in Chaos Cultists and some good models. Although the Hellbrute, it's the only way you could get a Hellbrute for Chaos Space Marines. It didn't come with a lot of options. Apparently, they're going to be, Games Workshop are going to be releasing some kits. One of them is going to be the Hellbrute with all of its weapons options. Chaos Cultist set is going to come with options to make them plague zombies, which is great. But a lot of people have converted them, or like myself with some Chaos Space Marines Cultists, I have just done them in a plague colour scheme. Chaos Lord is going to come in its own little thing with a whole range of weapons. Chaos Chosen is going to be given loads and loads of specific bits, including 5 different heads per god. The Khorne, Slanesh, Tzeentch and Nurgle. Obliterators and Mutilators, I think I might be looking at, and Chaos Havocs will have all new visual designs for their different weapons, which only sounds good. They're a model company, Games Workshop, they're great at models. It all sounds good. Okay, next thing is some rumours about what's going to be coming this year. So, I won't talk about the Dwarfs just yet. I'll talk about that in a minute. So, it says Imperial Guard will be coming in April. March will focus solely on the Imperial Knights, followed by Wood Elves in May. The Imperial Knights will be a data slate or a mini codex. We'll see it in the White Dwarf new weekly release, it looks like. Imperial Guard is getting a new name with their new codex. According to the 40k radio source, they'll be renamed to the Astra Militarium. Astra Militarium. That's different. Astra Militarium. I know the System of Battles changed their name, but what does that really mean for you Imperial Guard players? Other than being a bit of a tongue twister for me, Astra Militarium. Do you like the new name? Or did you prefer Imperial Guard? What do you think with that? It's intriguing. Okay, so here is an article on NAFTA's website. I'm going to put in the description below. A talk with a Games Workshop rep. So it says, had a long interesting convo with my Games Workshop rep today. Pretty insightful. Here are some notes in no particular order. Games Workshop is not concerning themselves with game balance or competitive play in any respect. Well, anyone who's been playing the game a while can know that's true. The new codex is usually a really great thing. old codexes, not as good. Games Workshop is totally fine with their tweaking of the rules to create more balance. Tournaments tweaking the rules to create their game, make it more balanced and stuff, because they don't really care about it. They've always said though that they're a model company first, and here are your rules to play the game. It helps forge a narrative, but if you want to tweak it, you can. So I've also known that a little while. Supplements aren't designed with game balance in mind, they're designed with fun, cool things in mind. Like escalation is meant to be fun, it's not competitive. Expect to see more movement towards giving players the opportunity to use the models they own in games of 40k. So I guess data slates, well, that will make things extra awesome. Games Workshop has no PR department. There will be no official announcement about any of this new stuff in their White Dwarf articles. They'd like people to communicate this and steer things in the community. Okay. While the stock did drop 25% overnight, based on that report, he went on length how Games Workshop is dividend company and it's still going to be paying out its dividends. Something about how 4 people own almost all of Games Workshop stock. How profits on the whole are down, but profits per dollar spent is way up. Yeah, that was interesting. Games Workshop seems to have not realised that if you have products which are £1 and you have 100 customers and they each spend that £1, so that's £100 you make. But if you raise everything to £2 and you get 50 customers, you've still made £100. Your profits per se may go up, but your customers go down. Now if you keep forcing customers out and making it more elite and niche in the way that not a lot of people can buy your products, eventually you'll start seeing these going down and your customers still going down as well. So Games Workshop's profits have gone up, yes, but they've lost a lot of customers. And in the long term, that may lead them to becoming less and less and less of a market leader. 25% is a lot to come off your stocks. Games Workshop are now focusing on weekly releases now. Wow! The people that write the rules often don't remember what they write. Spoke about conversations he's had or been involved with the writers or stories he's heard. Mentioned one instant of a guy asking one of the writers about the rule he wrote. And the conversation went, yeah, that rule sounds cool. Why don't you guys play it that way from now on? So they seem to be throwing ideas out and forgetting what they'd previously done to make it good. Again, if they're not focusing on balance and stuff, then why would they care? Costs increase, they're not targeting everyone. Whoever buys their models, buys their models. Term greybeards. It's used to compare Games Workshop gamers to model train enthusiasts. They're older, they're wealthier, and you don't see a lot of new people entering the hobby anymore. You just can't afford it. If you're a 14-year-old kid, you can't afford a £100 box set usually. It's very true. So young people aren't going to be getting back into the hobby. $200. This one's in America. So a startup kit is going to give you a month's worth of entertainment. But he compared that to roughly, that's 3 video games, which could again give you that much entertainment. So in that regard, when you compare it, I guess it's on similar to that, but it's less personal because you don't make the video games, you make these and paint them. They want to sell models based on coolness, not on the price tag. Okay. And mentioned how Tau and Eldar books were mistakes in that they elevated expectation for the remaining 6th edition books and suggested not to compare how they are. Well, people are going to compare. It's so stupid. When you have Tau and Eldar, you have these amazing codexes with amazing options and stuff like that, and then you have books after that isn't as good. You're going to compare. It's your hobby. You have to compare. You're battling against them. Silly. But no, link to that is in the description below. Tyranid 1, dataslates. The new Tyranid Vanguard is the first of 3 new codex dataslates that's scheduled for the Tyranid. The first of these Games Workshop today gave a preview that include 5 new formations for Tyranids. The new release Tyranid Vanguard starts off with some background info. Me personally, I can't stand what they're doing. I understand that they want to be cool and they want to give you options to have fun. But again, if I want to play against my friend's Tau army and I love Tyranids and I'm just going to be beaten all the time, it's not great. And I've spent £30 on this. I don't think it's worth £30. It's a nice book with lots of colour and art, but I don't think it's worth £30. Paying £30 for some rules which aren't amazing. I don't want to be paying more and more money just to make it better. In the news is the new White Dwarf, which I think might be coming out this weekend or next. All about Dwarfs. Dwarfs releases in February. Apparently they look great. Has a how to paint guide of Dwarfs, and Dwarf players will be happy. It's nice to see because they need some love, the little dwarfs. They need some love. Okay, thank you for watching this vlog with me, Xenovids. Please like, subscribe, comment and share anything you want to talk about below. There were no questions for me this week, so I won't be answering anything. Please leave some questions in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer anything from colour schemes, what I think of Tyranids, or just about anything about the hobby. So, I've been Xenovids. I will see you on the next video.